Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to see about functions and loopings and conditions by using those data types in Dart. So yeah, let's start the code. So these are the data types we have defined before, and now we are going to use a conditional statement. So yeah, if you type double forward slash means it is denoted as a comment. That means this line will not execute by compiler. It is for this like showing notes to other developers to understand that what is written here. So in that case we can use the comment statement here. So now I have used it for a conditional statement, and now here there are two conditional statement in Dart. One is if else, and switch. So these are the two conditional statements in Dart. So yeah, first we'll see the switch. So I'll just remove this. I'll remove this too. Yeah, the main difference between the switch case and if else statement is if you want to compare different variables means, so you would probably prefer the if else statement. But if you are using the same variable name, and if you are using to compare as a separate value means, you have to use switch statement. uh, I will give the demonstrate explanation here. So first we'll see about switch statement here. So for example, I'm gonna declare a string here called status, like assigning value here pending. So I have declared a status and assigned the value pending to it, and we'll compare using switch now. So just adding comment here. So yeah, now I'll be adding a switch, and I'm gonna pass the status string here, and I'm gonna open the open braces here. So this is a syntax for the switch statement. You have to call the switch keyword here, and you have to pass the value that you want to check those conditions. And I'm passing the status variable here, and I'm gonna open it. So inside this we are gonna add a cases for each condition. Like case is a keyword. For example, if just entering the case pending means colon, and the status is pending. So yeah, this is one of the case. I'm adding another case here, completed. And oops, I forgot to add a break here. So you have to add a break between all the cases, and you have to declare the default value. Like this is the default value. This will be calling if all of our cases is not met our condition means. So at that time this will execute the default value. So we'll add a invalid, and we'll add another case here. cancelled. So yeah, so in this case I'm gonna compare, I'm gonna use some condition for the same variable. So that's why I'm choosing switch statement. So I'm just passing the status here. So this will check the first case will be checking the given string is a pending or not. If the given string is pending, this line will be executed. So after this line execution, the break statement will be called. So break, once the break is called, this switch will be returned, this will not, I mean the next case will not be executed. So once we reached our condition here, so next case is checking completed status, and if the status string is a completer, this line will be executed. And if the status is a cancelled, so this line will be executed. So none of the our condition met our status string, so default value will be executed. So yeah, we'll check now. So I'm running. So as you can see in the console, it's printing the status is pending. So we have defined the pending value here, so that's why it's printing this thing. So in case if I'm changing the pending into completed, if I rerun this, as you can see the console value is changed, the status is completed. So if I change that to cancelled, yeah, the status is cancelled. This is called. If I'm just assigning some random characters, so if I run this, you can see the default value is executed invalid. So this three condition is fails, so that's why it executes the default one. So this is the main concept of the switch statement. So if you are comparing the same value with some random conditions, so you can choose switch statement here. So in case if you are comparing some two or more variables, so you will be you say you have to use the if else statement there. Yeah, then now we'll see the if else statement. I'll just comment it out. I'll do this one. Okay, if I'm declaring a variable a equal to 10, and I'll be declaring b 20. So yeah, so now we have to I have declared two variable here, so we have to find the which number is greater than greatest number among to this. So we have to find that. So for that we have to compare these two variables. So we can't use we can't use the switch statement here. So that's why we are preferring a if else. This is if else. So yeah, so if this is a syntax for the if statement, you have to put a condition inside this bracket, function bracket, if a less than b. So yeah, so if a less than b, that means b is the biggest. So else print a is the biggest. So yeah, I will just run the main function. You can see b value is 20, so a is 10, so obviously b is the greatest. So So that's why it's printing b is the biggest. So if I change the value a to 50, you'll see a is the biggest. So it is checking the condition a less than b. So then this line will be executed inside the block. So if this condition fails, the else statement will be executed. So this is how if else works. So this is the basic example for both switch and if else statement here. And you can in dot you can also you can also declare a variable by using var keyword. That means you don't need to give the data types to those variables like integer, string, or you don't, if you don't want to specify a data types for our variable, so you can easily use the var keyword by using it. Like if I place str, I can assign a string also, I can also assign an integer, I can also assign double, I can also assign a boolean. So this will be get the data type automatically by the compiler. So if you don't want to declare the data type in for your variable, you can use the var keyword by defining the variables. So yeah, now let's see about loopings in dart. I'm gonna just remove a thing here, and there's a two looping statement in our dot. One is a for loop, and another one is a while loop. So these are the two looping statement is in dot. So now first we'll see about the for loop. So for is a keyword. So inside the for we are gonna give some condition here. So I'm gonna declare a variable I, and I'm assigning a value here 0, and I'm gonna give a condition here less than 5, we'll say 10, and I'm gonna increment I. So yeah, so this is a syntax for the for loop. So this is a initial from where to start our for loop. So we have to give the starting point to our looping. So that's why we are declaring variable called high, and I'm assigning I'm just telling to start from 0, and after that we are going to put a semicolon here. After that we are giving a condition like that this I variable should be lesser than 10. So this is a condition will execute while looping our state. And after that we are giving the condition, like we are giving the condition to increment the I variable like I plus plus. So this will be incrementing for every looping, like for each item. So if I'm printing a I inside the loop, so if I run the main, you can see our looping starts from 0. So as we have declared here, so 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is how it prints. If you want to print as from 1 to 10, you can also plus 1 here in a print statement. If you run this, so you can see the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So this is how for loop works. You can also put a condition inside the for loop, like if you want to print like if you want to print even number alone from certain point of range. If you want to print it like let's see, if I'm gonna start it from 1 to 100, I'm gonna print only a even number from this range. So I reminder 2 equal to 0, I'm gonna print high here. So yeah, now if I run this, you can see it will be only printing the even number 2 4 6 8 10 12 from starting from 1 to 100. So yeah, since we have put a condition inside the loop, so that's why it's printing. So if you want to print only a odd number means you can also like by using the same condition you can put a else here and you just print a high here. If you run this, it will be only printing the odd numbers. So yeah, this is how the for loop works in Dart. You can do you can do whatever condition if you want to perform between some ranges. So you can put it over there. And next we'll see about the while loop. So while is the keyword for the while loop. So the syntax is like it's not like a for loop. We have to give a condition only inside the while loop function. For example, if I'm declaring a variable called int I, I'm assigning a value 0 here. So if I'm giving condition if I less than 100, just like we printed previously in for loop, we'll just do that in while loop too. So I equal to 0, I'm just giving the condition I less than 100. I'm gonna put a condition here I modulo 2 equal to 0. I'm printing the I here. So this will be printing only even number. So after our condition, we have to increment our I, since we are not increment here inside, we can't increment inside the while loop function. So we have to, once we have checked the condition, you can put it inside the while loop block. So if I run this, you can see 0 2. Okay, we'll start the value from 1. If I run this, and this you can see that 2 4 6 8 10 12, like it will be only printing the even numbers here. So yeah, this is how the while loop works in Dart. So we have to give a condition here, and you can also put a condition inside our block, and this will be like looping the code block one by one, like until the condition fails. Like if in case if I values is greater than 101 means, so this will be failed. So until 100, until 99, this will be checking, this will be executing the block. So this is how the while looping works in Dart. So now we'll see about functions in Dart. Function is nothing but it's like we are telling to execute some block of code inside a function. So it will be like it will be executing some part of code like separately. So we'll see now. So if I will just remove this. So I'll just put the functions. So yeah, so I would say the main, I'm just declaring a function called not int add. Add is a function name here. So int is the like a return data type. So like I have to return an integer from this function. So that's why I'm putting an integer here. So if I don't want to return anything from a function, I'll just put a void here. So right now I'm gonna return an integer here. So inside the function, I'm gonna take a 2 parameters here called int a comma int b. So I'm getting 2 variables here, and I'm gonna return it a plus b. This is the basic function here. Like I'm just getting a 2 variables, like 2 argument as a and b, and I'm just returning with a plus b. So this will be adding 2 variables, and it will be just returning from this function. So inside our main function, I'll just call this method inside the print. So add is our function. So if I put this, it will be showing an error like 2 question argument expected but 0 found. We have to pass the 2 value here. So if I'm passing 4 comma 8, so I've just passed a two integer here, 4 comma 8. So if this is the function definition and this is the function calling, so you have to call a function inside our main method, so then only a function will be executing. And I have passed a two parameters here, 4 comma 8. This will be coming, a is 4, b is 8. So this function is returning with the two value plus a plus b, so it will be returning a value 12. So since we have called the function in a print statement, so it will be printing here. So if I run this function, you can see the console is showing a 12. Oops. So yeah, you can see the 12. So if I change the value to 9, you can see the value, so it is just printing it. So this is how the function works. So you are giving some setting like instruction to execute some part of the code as a separately. So this is how a function works in our dot. So this will be this function concept will be very useful uh, when you are going to use it, and when you're going to build up some big project. So you have to split it like function only, so then only the code will be a neat and easy to read it and easy to understand it. So yeah guys, that's all for the today's video. We'll see more concept in future videos, so stay tuned.